Okay, that's fine.
There we go. Oh, here comes another one. Okay, so hello, welcome everyone to this month's Ask the Psychics. We've got two lovely ladies that are giving up their time this evening to join us to answer all your questions. We've got lovely Sam Moore up there. Give us a wave, Sam.
Hi.
And we've got the lovely Marty Baxter, who's got a drunken phone. So if we keep losing her, it's because it's fallen off. Okay. So I know a fair few of you, but there are a fair few here, actually. I don't know, which is nice, actually, to see new faces. I'm Jo Bradley. I predominantly am known for trance and physical mediumship. So if anyone's got any questions on trance or physical, please just ask and I'll do my best to help you. I'm going to hand over the baton now to the lovely Sam Moore so that she can introduce herself and tell you a bit about what she does. Thanks, Sam.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. It's really lovely. So I'm a medium and I specialise particularly in dealing with negative energy. I've been aware of my gifts now for around about 12 years and developing them, and will continue to develop them. I've attended quite a few of Jo's amazing workshops, which has really helped me to gain a better understanding of this area, but also just broaden my knowledge in general, and skill set and things like that. So that's been absolutely a godsend in itself. So thank you, Jo. Now, as I say, I deal with mostly dealing with like the negative energy side of things, and that can come in many forms. So you can have negative entities, or you can even have negative thoughts like jealousy and things like that. So negative energy can come in many ways, many forms, and tend to require different techniques to deal with them. So that's my area.
Thank you, Sam. Marty, do you want to give everyone a quick rundown of who you are and what you do, please, my love?
Who you are and where you come from. So my name is Marty. I'm here in a sort of a witch and healing capacity. So I was born into this, and I see my sister is on as well. Hi, Susie. And so when we grew up, it was always very normal for our mum to be saying things like, we were born witches and all this stuff. Now you've got the Harry Potter thing. I was like, oh, it sounds very Slytherin, doesn't it? But for me, it was very natural growing up to just assume that everybody had gifts. And it was, I was told to keep quiet about it, because once I understood what we were and what we could do, mediumship, psychic stuff, being able to read people's energy, being able to read their auric fields and influence people, then I was told to keep quiet about it. So I spent a lot of years trying to hide from what it was that I was able to do. And it's only with a near-death experience that it kind of woke me up with a bang. And it's not been the unicorns and rainbows journey that I was hoping for, if I'm completely honest with you. But actually, all of these spiritual gifts that we get, they just need to be worked with one by one. So that's what I've tried to do. So yeah, I'm a bitzer. And I think that when you say the word witch, a lot of people have a really negative view. My nose is perfectly fine, and I don't fly on broomsticks and all of that stuff. It's just like, it's energy. Everything is energy. So that's what I work with. I work with layering it one on top of each other, so that if you're trying to do one thing, you use 3 different tools to the same end game. Hopefully that makes sense.
Lovely. Thank you, Marty. Note to myself, no witch jokes tonight, I promise. Well, I promise for about 5 minutes so I forget myself again. You know what I'm like. Okay, so Terry sent in a couple of questions already. So the first question is to you, Sam. How did you get into this line of work, and how long have you been doing it?
Okay. So as I say, I've been developing it over around about 12 years now, but working in this particular capacity in this area around about 2 to 3 years now. Now, my journey has been quite unique in the sense that the type of things that I've come across, witnessed and experienced are very rare, thankfully. However, it became a regular occurrence for me. So, for example, I grew up in a house which was 600 years old. Yes, it was haunted. My next door neighbour, they happened to have a very powerful curse on their land. Another family member had a poltergeist in their house who was a missionary priest, so very powerful. So I mean, these things are very rare. So to sort of come across them so often in my life, and I'd come across a lot of people with, you know, wow, that sounds bad. And my first reaction would be, I know someone who can help. And Joe almost became on my phone on speed dial. I was like, Joe, can you help? And then in the end, it got to the point where I had to realize that these cases were coming to me for a reason. And it was actually because I needed to learn how to help these people. So that's how my journey, and this is how I've ended up here. And to be honest, I love it. I love my job. I love helping people. And I think it very much comes from growing up. I hate bullies. And I kind of see negative energy as a very bullying energy. And therefore, I kind of made it my mission to be able to conquer that. So, yes.
Lovely. Thanks, Sam. Hope that answers your question, Terry. Terry's also sent in a question for Marty. Marty, how long have you been doing witchcraft?
So, like I said, I grew up with a mum who was very much into herbal remedies, very much a good in the garden and stuff like that, the green witch. So I knew all that stuff from when I grew up, but the actual way that I work now is more with the elements and more with the dark goddess work that I do, which is tapping into sort of harnessing other power and directing it where you want it to go. And that I've been doing properly for about 10 years. Very much like Sam, I spent some time in Joe's circle honing my mediumship skills, which actually doubled up amazingly well. Being able to tune in as easily as I was after spending a couple of years in a circle being taught by someone like you, meant that I could then use that same technique to hone in on my ancestors. So when you work this way, you know, obviously you open yourself up and you direct your spirit guides to give you the information that you need. I literally now do that with different funnels, and I do call it funnels. So I've been working this way consistently for 8 years. My awakening, as it were, was 15 years ago. So that was in line with trying to deliver my first child. But I've always known I was a bit odd, if I'm honest. You know, it's always kind of come to me, much like you, Sam. I mean, this stuff was just coming to me. I always remember I was 15 years old. I was sitting in a bus stop, skiving school, and I was very clearly in school uniform. And I looked 15. I wasn't one of those lucky kids who looked older and could get in pubs to drink. So I sat down and this woman sat next to me and started telling me her life story. Literally, like everything that was wrong with her, what was wrong with her marriage. I mean, I'm 15. I don't know. I still don't know, actually. But, you know, I really didn't know back then. And she talked to me. We missed 2 buses. And she talked for about an hour. And at the end, she was like, right, I know exactly what I need to do now. You know, I'm happy. Thanks so much for listening. And walked off. And I thought, what was that? You know, what on earth just happened there? I had no concept of what it was. And unfortunately, without even realizing it, I was trancing and bringing information through. I literally became a conduit. And so that is now the way I work. I have no idea what's going on half the time. And people will talk to me, like I see Holly's on. I told Holly some information and she was relaying it back to me. And I was like, no, I've got nothing. I don't know what you're on about. Sometimes I'm completely out of the room, you know, and I'm not zoned out, I'm not stupid. So I've been working this way consistently for 8 years, but it's been lifelong.
Thank you. So answer your question, Terry. Have you got any other that you want to ask? Going on from that, can unmute yourself if you need to.
No, that's answered me very well, actually. Thank you.
Good. Do you know what, Marty? I have to smile because, and I don't mean it disrespectfully. When I think of witchcraft, I'm right there with with the charmed ones. I'm right in there.
I love charmed.
Yeah, I'm Feebe. I'm Feebe. See, I don't know why. I have to. Anyway, Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good book with a triquetra on the front? And I think this is the thing. It's so not known. But do you know what? The last 2 years, it's having a right old revival, specifically on TikTok and Instagram. And I do get a bit wound up about some Instagram priestesses and stuff like that. I will have a rant at some stage of the next hour, I promise you, with people giving themselves titles that they haven't earned and they should have been, gifted. But actually, this way of working is going to become, I think, more and more prevalent because people are looking for answers now that the normal world can't provide anymore. And witchcraft has always been about your inner wise woman. It's not about, herbs and spices and broomsticks and, special hats, although those things are all great. It's very much about who are you? What do you want? Can you connect to other tribes of women? Because when you work together, the energy flows much more effectively, like a cone of power. Same as when you sit in a mediumship circle, all of your skill sets get enhanced. So I think actually what was originally, and Charmed is a great series. I've got the box set, I'm not gonna lie. I'm that chick. And my company was called Bewitching because I watched Bewitched back as a child, and became obsessed. My nose won't do that, by the way. Sad. But, it really has had a bad press. And there's no need for it. It's just working with energy in a different way. It's recognizing that each section of energy, you can work with elements, like air, earth, water, fire. You can work with your psychic skills in alignment. You can even work with crystals. I mean, I do a lot of work with crystals. People know me for that.
Yeah.
And that's about taking one set of energy and putting crystals on top of it, and then putting the right moon phase on top of it. So if you're trying to bring in like business success, so if you're starting a new business, you'd really want some petrified wood and make a mojo bag. But the best time to do that would be in a new moon phase, when it's all about brand new beginnings, fresh starts, fresh beginnings, because you would bring all the layers of energy together and work with them. And then obviously other techniques from around the world are very much protective, so you can deflect anything negative from coming at you in the first place. That's really useful. And Sam and I have done some work together, haven't we?
Yes.
Where, we've literally put a return to sender on anything that's coming at us before it even comes. So it just bounces straight off. So things like that, that's the unseen realms, I think, of witchcraft and what it can do. Because there are people ill-wishing you, there are people with toxic traits that you're going to have to interact with. And so it can deal with all of that, just day-to-day muggle stuff, as I call it. That's been the biggest win, because once you clear yourself of all that energy that might impact you, you've got a free run at the rest of your life.
Yeah, I find it very fascinating. Just touching on what you said about, stuff that you see on TikTok. At the moment, there's, I don't know if it's people just wanting to be seen and heard, or whether it's actually people's egos that are just coming out of the box and going, here I am, I'm better than anybody else. I think it's sad because, we all say, oh, we're weird, don't we? But actually, we're just all unique. We're all unique. We all will look at something. We can look at the same subject, but we'll all come up with a different idea or have a different experience to do with that same subject. I just think it's really sad when, you get these people and they put these huge labels on themselves, and I think it says more about them than it does their work. Maybe a sense of need or whatever.
Well, that's it. But, people don't want to do the work. And I think it's really the whole part of this is the really human part, with any work that we do. And this is work for me. I love it. And